week 10, 2026, my top lessons of the week. There's two lessons. One lesson about that every single measurement you do should inform a decision. And then secondly is that you should focus on the highest comparative advantage on whatever you do to provide long-term equity value. And then the last one is about learning from anything. First one. So every measurement should inform a decision. What I understood was that if you just measure something and you don't have a decision rule, or you don't know what decision that measurement is trying to inform, then you're just measuring. You're not making any progress. But if you're measuring something to inform a decision, for example, you don't know if you've reached the product market fit of your product yet. So therefore, you can measure all kinds of things. You can measure by directly asking the customers, seeing how much they use it, that kind of things you can measure. And that informs the decision that, okay, do we need to adjust our method to reach the product market fit, or do we already have it? And so the lesson is that if your measurement doesn't inform a specific decision, then you should not start measuring it yet. And the steps are that, like, you're thinking like, okay, what I'm trying to achieve, all right, so what, I don't know yet, like, right, what decision I need to make, all right, is there a measurement that I have to perform in order to make that decision? And if yes, then you just have to measure it with specific decision trigger. Like, okay, this happens, then we decide that. This happens, then we decide that. Like that. Okay. Second, about focus your energy and effort to provide the highest comparative equity long-term value. And so, yeah, this is from Charlie Munger's book, where in economics, you don't have to, even though if you're best at everything, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do the thing that you like the most. You don't have to do the thing that you're best at. But what you should do is that you should do the thing that nobody else can produce. And that is highest comparative value. Comparative advantage, I mean. That's it. So, lesson is focus your energy and resources on providing highest comparative advantage. Creating a long-term equity value that nobody else can produce. And the steps are like, yeah, figure out what you can produce. Figure out what others can produce. And then produce the thing that nobody else can produce. And buy the other things from others. Yep, that's it. Let's not make it more complicated. And the third one is learn from anything. So I realized that I naturally learn if I hear, see anything. I always tend to ask, like, what can I learn from this? And that triggers all kinds of things, other follow-up questions. And I find it really, really helpful. So my lesson of this is that when you see or hear something, then ask, what can I learn from this? And then, like, why does it matter? Does it matter? What's new on it? What's generalizable on it? What's the principle behind it? And then take notes and use repeated recall to understand and memorize that thing. The steps are like, yeah, first, if you see or hear something, or you read, ask, what can I learn from it? And then you ask as a follow-up, like, what does it matter? What's new on it? How could I use it? What's generalizable in it? what is the principle behind it. And if it's worth that to learn it, then take notes on it and use repeated recall to understand in appropriate depth. And then the last step is to create a simple micro habit that you can repeat daily to start to use it.